Right, we're on. Today we're going to talk about the lie angle, that's this angle of the club shaft at impact and at address. Trying to get it back to the impact position, or the impact position to match up with the address position. Pretty tricky stuff. So TrackMan's all set up, TrackMan's there, I've got my iPad here. We're going to hit a few balls, trying to concentrate on the lie angle of the golf shaft at address and at impact. Trying to get back to the same position at impact as we started off in at address. So this is a really good thing you can do if you video yourself in the garden. I'm going to draw a line up the line of my shaft, up the angle of my shaft, static lie angle of the shaft, and you can use this as a checkpoint when you're videoing yourself in the garden if you're practicing or if somebody videos your swing. So I take my address position there. You can see the club shaft. I've drawn a line up the shaft just now. There we go. I'm trying to visualise that line because I purely can't see it. So I line up the shaft just now. As I come back down into impact, as the club gets to horizontal to the ground, parallel to the ground, horizontal, I want that club shaft, that club head, to be on that line. Okay, so the club head's on that line as as my club gets back to horizontal to the ground. I don't want the club to be behind the line or below the line. I don't want the club to be over the top of the line. I want to make sure that I get that club head back onto that line that we had at impact, address, sorry. Address position, back onto that line, into impact. It's quite hard for me to see this where that line is drawn, so I'm not sure I'm bang on that camera angle whether that club head is getting exactly on that line, but that's the checkpoint you need to look for. When you set your camera up, make sure it's at hand height and down the line. I've set this up with TrackMan, so it's a bit of a tricky one, but you get the idea. Address position, there's the line, drawn up the shaft. Now I'm going to hit one here where I take the club back, and as I come back down into impact, the club gets down to horizontal or parallel to the ground. And you can see this club head is clearly below the line, below the plane line, the static plane line of the shaft. Therefore the path's going to be in to out, and I'm going to hit a draw or a hook or some sort of funky shot because the club is below that plane line of the shaft, the static lie angle of the shaft. I take my address position, there's the line, the club's going right underneath that. And the path of the club, let's have a look what TrackMan says. So here we go. Oh, TrackMan clearly shows me that the path there is 6.5. 6.5 in to out because the club head was below the static lie angle of the shaft. So I was trapped, I was inside to out. Is that good? Don't know. Okay, let's try another one. Take my setup position. There's the line drawn up the shaft now. I take the club back, and then when I come back down, as I get to this parallel position, horizontal position there, the club's no longer on the line. It's going to be over this side of the line, so it's going to be on top of the line. So therefore I'm cutting across, out to in. Let's see what that does to the path. There's my line. Up. Coming down, the club's going to get out over the top of the line. Coming back in. Go. Path now 7.2, so 7.2 to the left. So I've changed it dramatically. 7.2 to the left because the club head was above that static lie angle of the shaft. Now we know there's going to be some sort of tolerance. I mean, there's the static lie angle, dynamic lie angle. If you can feel as though, so if you cut across more like that last shot out to in 7.2 left and you hit this slice, try and feel as though you get the hands lower through impact. So when you come into impact, the hands are lower, or not as high up. Perhaps we've not stepped as far forward, like early extension, to raise that dynamic lie angle of the shaft from the static lie angle. So even just feeling that when you come down, you get the hands closer to the body and the body turning through more. When you come through, you'll see that the club shaft, the club head, when the club's horizontal to the ground, that it does dissect that line a lot better. It's not so far stuck behind, it's not so far forward. It's more on line. As I say, I can't see from the camera at all whether it's on that line because the line's drawn after we do the edit, but that's what you want to feel. So visualise that line, back onto that line. See how you get on. So I visualised the line, tried to get back on it, and now I'm only 1.6 left. So I'm not even 2 degrees left this time, because I was able to visualise where the club head's going to go in relation to that drawn on fictitious line or starting static lie angle of the shaft. And of course, if you're the other way, if you come too far inside and hook it over, then you want to feel as though you get the club a little bit above that shaft or that line to change the path. This time I'm going to try and get as close to zero as I possibly can. There. Need to get on that line on the way down, on that line, on that line. Good. So guys, there we go. If you can visualise the lie angle of your shaft at address and trying to get at that point on the way down, trying to feel as though the club marries up with that line. So you can use your video analysis to see, are you below the line? Are you above the line? Then you can understand what's happening with ball flight and why that's happening. Guys, if you subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. If you've not, please hit the bell icon. That's the thumbs up icon. Do that as well. And the subscribe button, that'd be great. And the more we hit the thumbs up and the bell, that shares it around YouTube. The algorithm loves that, and that helps me out massively. Thank you very much.